Well, hello everybody. Here we are today, and we're going to be doing a season preview of the Colorado Avalanche. Now, before we start, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up, as well as subscribing to the Hockey Brigade if you like hockey. Now, let's talk about the Avs. So, Colorado's been a team that for some time now has been really talented, but they haven't been able to break through in the playoffs, especially when it's mattered most. And the past 2 years for them have really been the focal point for me because they've been so good but can't get out of the second round. And, you look at that and you want to say, will this year be any different? Or will it be another year that it's just a dud in the playoffs? We all know nothing's ever set in stone, but one thing I will say that could turn the tide for them and potentially win them a Stanley Cup will be Darcy Kuemper coming over from Arizona. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I've been on the Darcy Kuemper bandwagon for years, and the 31-year-old netminder, he was brought in to replace Philip Grubauer as he left for Seattle, and there's nothing sugarcoating it. They needed a goalie. They were in a bad spot. They went out, maybe overpaid, we'll have to see, for Kuemper's services for a year. And yeah, I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty biased. I believe in the guy a lot. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he really even had serious consideration for the Vezina, considering his stats that he put up in Arizona. And now that he's on a Colorado team that has a way better offense and that'll probably finish top 5 in the league for scoring, I think he's probably at least finishing top 3 voting. We'll have to see. Now, whether or not he's going to be there after this season is not important because we're focusing on this season solely. But yeah, he is in UFA. We'll look at that later towards the year. We'll see there. But I have to say this. The storyline is too perfect for him. Look at it like this. You have a goalie that was on a rough team, and he made them all better. Now, they had some moments, but he comes into a team that can't win in the playoffs, or at least they can't make a deep run. He's a UFA. This is the last big contract he'll probably get. Do you see him just having a bad year on Colorado? Because I don't. Here's the thing. It's written right there. I can already see it. Darcy Kuemper has a great year, maybe even 40 wins. We'll have to see. And maybe I'm crazy, but I'm okay saying that. Now, something that might not be too crazy, and we'll have to see, is Mikko Rantanen replicating what he did last year. I think it is safe to say that that was his best season. And if Colorado wants to make a title run, he's going to have to be a heavy lifter for this team. There's a few guys that obviously are, Makar, McKinnon, Landeskog are all guys that are heavy lifters, but he's going to have to be one of those guys. And I'm curious to see how he handles the media hype, because think of how good last year was for him. The media made him a little bit more of a household name, circulated his name a little bit more, and we know that he's a great player. At least if you watch hockey, keep up with the league consistently, we know he's a good player. In fact, he was on pace for 104 points last year, and had it been a normal year, I guarantee he would have got way more recognition, because a 100-point season is the type of thing that lives on with you. Regardless, I know a lot of new analytics say the points don't matter, which obviously points factor in with a lot of other things, but the type of thing is, especially with more traditional fans, that is going to live on. And, either way, this season, regardless of if he takes a little bit of a step back in the Central instead of being in that West division they had, I do think that he is still going to be set up for a good year, especially if he keeps firing away the rate that he did. He shot the puck more than he ever did before in his career, at least in terms of shots per 60. And in fact, only 34 other players shot the puck at a higher rate than he did last year. Now, regardless of whether or not it's a good year or a bad year, or even if he lives up to the hype of the year before, expectations are high. A, because he's playing on the first line of Colorado, which is probably one of the best lines in hockey. And that would be really tough to rate lines. We'll have to see. Maybe they do a video about that. But then also, he is making over $9 million a year. There's no excuses. He can't have a bad year. Colorado is a team that needs to break through right now, and he has got to be one of those guys that you look back and say he was a team leader. He was a big reason for their success. Now, finally, we're going to have to see a big thing for Colorado here this year. Whether or not they can do that is whether or not they can block out the noise in order to win a Stanley Cup. This is something that you can't easily control. You can't just block out everything, but they're going to have to find a way to control the mindset, and it's going to become really, really important once the season winds down. The team's all but guaranteed of making the playoffs for the 5th straight season, at least I think they are. They've got a lot of experience here, but this could be another team that they just blow it in the sense that they don't make it to at least the conference finals. They might have another early exit, which is something that is just really scary to think about. But the reality is, teams that have a lot of expectations also have a lot of critique, a lot of media on them saying, what about this? What about this? They are going to have to find a way to get over the hump. This would be their third straight year dominating the league. If they don't have a big run here, I just think it could be really, really bad for them. They will be labeled as choke artists, and I know Tampa had that status a few years ago, but the thing is, Tampa at least was making routine trips to the Eastern Conference Finals, whereas Colorado hasn't made it since the 2002 season, if I'm not mistaken. But it's one of those things. The playoffs are rough. It's random, but we'll have to see. They can't just... It's a long thing. For Habs fans, I'm sure they understand it as well. And really, do I think that Colorado will win a Stanley Cup this year? I'm going to say yes. McKinnon is hungrier than ever. You have got Makar, who is maybe wins a Norris this year. And then you have Kimber, who I think is exactly what they need. You got Landeskog back. They did lose some guys. You lost Donskoy to Seattle. And then you lost Saad to St. Louis. But overall, I do think that they've got enough offense to get it done. They've got a great blue line, especially with that top pairing. And in general, I really like what I see here. Now, what I will say is, if the top guys don't get it done, especially offensively, I don't know if they have enough guys that could do it for them to just keep chugging along. That'll be the thing that holds them back, I think. But I'm going to be pushing my chips all in right now for Colorado. I'm going to say they are the preseason favorite to win the Stanley Cup. I know I've been riding with Tampa a lot, especially last year. But I feel like with Kemper, I'm starting to just feel that sway a little bit. We'll have to see. Now, do you think Colorado will win the Stanley Cup this season? Let me know down below. Also, if you like this video, then I screwed it up. It's fine. We're going to get this outro right the next time. But anyway, everybody stay safe. Have a great night. Eagle of Hockey. Also, please make sure to like and subscribe. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.